Y'all, I just had to interrupt and say, look at how gently she is handling my hair. I mean, from start to end, from the time she flat ironed, sorry I didn't get that part on the camera, but she handled my hair so gently, and I really appreciated that.
To say that I am pleasantly pleased with the way my hair came out is an understatement. When I say she literally did exactly what I wanted, she wasn't overly scissor happy. She took off exactly what needed to be taken off and took into consideration my goals of length retention. So I have to tell you, it was worth all $310. $260 plus a $50 tip. I'm just saying. I will definitely go back, and I told her once I saw like the results, I told her I will never trim my own hair again. I will be back. I have not had clean ends like this I can't even remember the last time. I really can't remember the last time. In the interest of disclosure, I don't have a lot of curl right now because I was so tired when I got home that I was not able to film the intro to this video. So this is like day 2 hair, and my curls did drop some because I was kind of like out and about, and I did sweat a little bit in the back, but once I wrap my hair, it will make everything smooth. But I wanted to share some of the tips with you that she shared with me. Most of it I completely agree with. One thing in particular I did not really agree with, but you know, you can take it with a grain of salt. What I really appreciated was she didn't just do my hair. She also was there to educate. She was also there to find out what my specific goals were so that whatever she did to my hair, how she styled it aligned with my goals. Now, if you look at this picture right here, that's my before. Clearly, I was really like at waist length. If you see the line right there, she showed me the picture and she said, so where are we cutting? And I was trying to be of an open mind. I was thinking like, you know what? If I gotta take off more, then I just gotta take off more. So I was like at this line right there. However, she was like, we don't need to be that aggressive. So she took it down a notch and she basically preserved a lot of my length. I did lose, you know, some length, but it's what needed to go. My ends feel so nice, and y'all, I'm just gonna ramble on because I'm so happy. But let me get to the tips. One thing she shared with me when I first sat in the seat, my hair was very oily, and that's because I was really sick this past week. And because I was sick, I slathered my hair in like a shea butter cream. When I told her that, she was like, don't put shea butter on your hair. It's like wax is blocking out the moisture. And at first I was like kind of disagreeing. I was like, well, what about like if I twist my hair? You know, I would like to twist it, and I feel like that would help lock in the moisture. She was like, it could actually make your hair feel drier. And I was like, yeah, I really didn't have that experience. So we kind of went back a little bit on and forth on that. I listened to her. But as we were talking later on, as she was doing my hair, she thought I meant pure straight shea butter. I actually was referring to a shea butter cream that I use, which has also like coconut and mango in it. And she was like, oh, that's an entirely different thing. To her point, she was like, don't use just straight shea butter or straight hair butter because it's very waxy. And even something like Jamaican black castor oil is just very thick. And she said some people will slather it on their whole strand. It's really blocking out the moisture. And granted, you know, we do like to seal our hair with oils. And she was like, yes, oils oils are not moisture. We definitely agreed on that. Oils are not moisture. And this is the part that had me shook right here. And I might be all over the place, but y'all forgive me, but I'm just trying to get all the points out. She told me, stop spritzing your hair with water to moisturize. She said, because what happens is every time you're wetting your hair, you're weakening the strands. I don't know if I've ever heard this before, but I kind of get the gist of it. She was like, do not air dry. Air drying is not good for your hair. If you do a wash and go or anything like that, use a dryer to dry your hair. Be on cool, but you don't want to air dry your hair because the wetness is weakening your hair over time. And I kind of get that. And I'm actually just going to follow what she told me to do to see how my hair fares. Because when I go back in 6 months for a trim, I don't want to have like a hack. I want to have like a micro trim. If you want to moisturize your hair, use a moisturizing product, a moisturizing cream. She said you can even use a leave-in conditioner because leave-in conditioners have conditioning agents. They also have some oils in them at times. So that was one big thing that she told me. As far as styling, so no lie, y'all, I was gonna like get bangs. And she was like, so here's the deal with bangs. People usually get bangs when they're going through something and they just want to like do something and then they regret it later on. To my point, I wasn't going to get like bangs like this because obviously if I want to wear my hair curly, that would be a mess. I wanted more like wispy, like longer bangs, but in the end, I opted against it. I'm just like, you know what, let me just work with the hair that I have. Also, what I really like was she was very aware that my hair is in layers. So it wasn't about cutting that longest layer to match the rest because then my hair would probably be up to here somewhere. Really, really appreciated that. I appreciated that she listened all throughout this entire experience. What I loved was the treatment of, you know, like as she was massaging my scalp and they use these little hand things. I'm sorry, I did not get that part on camera. She literally, like, the massaging situation was just, it was amazing. She asked me how I felt. I was like, amazing, actually. Fantastic. I don't remember what I said, but it really felt so good. It wasn't just a wash and, you know, deep conditioning go. She washed my hair 3 times, one with a clarifying shampoo, another with a purple shampoo. Because I have a lot of gray hair, you probably don't see it as much, but you're about to see it in a clip. All of this, all of the grays that are throughout my hair was significantly toned down with the purple shampoo. And then she went in and she used a moisturizing shampoo after that. So 3 shampoos to remove the oily buildup, tone down the grays, add some moisture. Now, here's the biggest tip that she gave me. And this actually rocks how I've believed things to be for many, many years, which was, first, my point of view was, you know, you have to balance your hair with moisture and protein. That is undeniable. That part is undeniable. It's how I was doing it that she kind of like adjusted my way of thinking. And one was like, okay, let's say I wash my hair weekly. I would do 3 deep conditioning treatments to 1 protein, because I know you don't need protein as often as you need moisture. But what she told me was, when you shampoo your hair, how your hair feels at that time is the type of treatment you should give it right after. You don't have to plan like, okay, I'm gonna do this amount of deep conditioners and then I'm gonna do a protein treatment. She was like, if your hair is feeling kind of like gummy, a little bit mushy, do a protein treatment. At the time when I was at the salon, she told me, your hair, she actually referred to it as her, she was asking for protein. So she gave me a protein treatment using this product right here. This is from their line. It smells amazing. It's pretty, I'm gonna say it's kind of thick. Yeah, it's thick. It's pretty thick. It is a ginger protein hair mask. It has wheat protein in it. So I got a good protein treatment done to my hair. Said I didn't really need, it wasn't like really bad, but I was definitely a little bit out of balance and I needed more protein than I needed moisture, which it was still balanced out with moisture after I did, you know, the protein treatment. But she was like, if your hair is feeling like it's not really getting moist as you're under, like you're running your hair under the water, it probably needs more moisture. Here's what's interesting. I feel like that's also based on your porosity. So if you have low porosity hair, your hair is not going to feel like it's getting wet right away anyway. And that, I don't think that necessarily means that you need to do a deep conditioning without protein because your hair is not getting wet right away. Because if your hair is low porosity, that's kind of like what it does. I didn't talk about porosity at all, which I found that interesting because I'm like, well, doesn't that have something to do with it? But I didn't bring it up. You know, I'm not there to challenge anybody. But anyway, her whole gist was how your hair feels after you've shampooed it is how you determine what product your hair needs, deep conditioning or protein treatment. So that kind of rocked how I did things, and I'm gonna follow that, you know, at least for the unforeseeable future, and see how my hair responds by simply observing how it responds after being shampooed if I need protein or moisture. I use their edge control. This is also their edge control that I've been using on my edges because I just love their products. And she honestly schooled me on that too. I probably was using a little bit too much, a little aggressive. She was like, a little goes a long way. Like she literally took a little teeny tiny bit and just rubbed it in and just like brushed that in, and that was that. I say all of that to say I really, really enjoyed this experience. I am definitely going to be going to them on a regular basis for my hair and see if, you know, it will help me to get to my goal. Like, I was just about waist length anyway, but to get to my goal of full hair all the way around, no, I don't know if you could, oh, it's so hard when you have, I should have did a different color shirt, but as you can see, I didn't lose that much length. My ends are so clean. Yeah, they're so clean, it's hard to see. Well, anyway, you saw in the video, but look at that shine, guys. Like, the shine is off the charts, and there's no oils in my hair. It just, everything from the experience to how my hair was treated, to how she, you know, provided some educational tips, to literally being on time. I got there at 1:10, and at about 1:15, 1:20, I was in the seat, and my appointment was at 1:30. So that was really good. And they booked it for a 2.5 hour appointment. She literally finished at 2.5 hours. In my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 days, or maybe 6, or maybe 7, a week in my fine natural hair, with it being silk pressed like this, how I go to bed with it, how I wear it each day, how my hair is responding, and so on and so forth. But anyway, thanks for watching. I will catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.